been way too long.
I know. When is the last time we connected to do one of these?
I think it was actually like last May.
Really? I feel like it's maybe in like December, but I also have no sense of time anymore, so I'm
Well,
I'm not surprised.
time is a human construct, so
This is very true. But
yeah.
good to see you. Love the sweater.
Thank you. I figured, I have to get my freshers right now for our first blind tasting of the year. Hopefully, I don't spill any wine on it, but
I mean, if you do, it's just a part of Friday night.
actually speaking, I need to turn some light on. It's a little dark in my apartment. Give me like 1 second.
Yeah. See some people coming in.
Yeah, that's better. A little better.
Nice.
Cool. So, welcome everybody back to the Ruby Happy Hour. I'm your host, Jared, joined by a friend and kind of like not necessarily a colleague per se, but
Drinking buddy.
yeah, drinking buddy, a fellow wine professional, Meg Ruley. Meg,
Well, thank
say hi, everyone.
you. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Ned. So, like, what's been going on in your life? I saw that you were working on your Syrah project. So, can you tell us how that all went down and how it's going?
Yeah, so I am making my very first vintage. I was really involved in the WSET curriculum and, working in tasting rooms in the industry. And I think through all of my coursework as well as just my experience in the industry, winemaking, it just really is something I'm super passionate about. And so Anne over at Helioterra, which is an urban winery here in Portland, she is coaching me on my very first vintage. So I'm making wine in her facility this year, and I'm going to be doing 2 barrels of Syrah. And I got the grapes from the Yakima Valley out in Washington. And right now, I mean, we harvested the grapes in October of 2020, and now it's just kind of sitting in barrel. And I'm getting really impatient, though. I'm just like so ready for it to be bottled, but it won't be bottled till this time next year. So still got.
Okay. So you're doing like a 12-month elevage on that, 16-month
I
elevage?
think we're aiming more for like a 14-month, but we'll taste as it gets closer and kind of see where it's at and go from there.
Okay.
But it's been a really great learning experience so far and just absolutely loving it.
So what style of Syrah are you going for? Are you going something a little bit bigger and bolder, something a little bit fresher and younger? What are your
Yeah, it's definitely a big, bold, inky. Like right now it's super dark and inky. And so definitely think it'll be on the bolder style. But I also, don't want to, I used oak barrel or neutral oak barrels because I didn't want a ton of oakiness in there and trying to really get it to represent the region and the land as much as possible and not fuss around with it too much. So as minimal intervention as possible. So
did you do whole cluster or did you full the stem on that?
pull the stem.
Okay.
So and
Okay.
right now, they were not picking up any elements of smoke taint in it from the forest fires that we got all the way,
Well, not to
Oregon,
move there.
Washington, but fingers crossed, it kind of stays that way.
Yeah. Yeah, smoke was a big issue. Of course, everyone knows in the valley, and we'll talk about more of that in future videos. But it's good to see that your fruit wasn't affected by the smoke.
Yeah, not too badly. How was Ruby Vineyards this year? I saw it
Yeah,
bottled.
yeah. So we actually just bottled on Tuesday. Bottled our whites and one red, a Gamay. Smoke did affect us a bit for certain things. And we had to pivot. We had to make different things. And we made a white Pinot Noir this year, which I'm kind of speaking too soon about. I'll probably drop the drop the hint on that one. But yeah, we made a couple of different style wines because we're all about kind of taking what the vintage gives us. The vintage gave us smoke last year, so we had to pivot, which was like the buzzword of 2020, the pivot, right? Yeah, we pivot to
This
something
year.
different. And yeah, but the wines are very exciting. We tasted them all on Wednesday. Really excited about our Chardonnay, 19 Chardonnay coming out, which is going to be one of our probably best Chardonnays we've ever made at ruby. So
amazing. Okay, I'll be looking forward to tasting that. You'll have to throw it in on one of the blind tastings next year or something.
I most definitely will.
Yeah.
So speaking of blind tasting, today you and I will be blind tasting. Both of us are very rusty. We used to do this every Wednesday, and then COVID happened, and now I haven't blind tasted actually in a while. So I'm a little bit nervous on how this is going to go.
It's not going to be great, at least not for me. It's been a while, and yeah, actually I did a blind tasting a few weeks back with some friends, but it was using natural wines, which are just really tough when it comes to yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's very
know they were
tough.
natural at the time, and then my friend revealed at the end. I was like, "Oh, well, that's why."
Oh, well, these aren't testable at all.
No, but so long story short, it's been a while since I've done a true blind tasting, and so it's gonna get weird today, I feel like.
So for all you out there, these wines, they are blind. We do not know what these wines are, but they are from select regions. The regions are coming from the approved WSET and WSET diploma, I think, level regions. So you won't have any Slovenian wines in here. You won't have any Hungarian wines in here. Nothing from South Africa either. I don't think South Africa's on here, right?
Maybe a Shannon, but
From South Africa, the nation, but like most of the regions that we'll taste, you'll know,
yeah.
you'll know. So with that being said, since you're the guest, let's gotta go first.
Oh, okay. Way to embarrass the guest. Okay, well, we'll do this. This is your wine.
Yes.
Idea what it is. Okay, I got like a little baby glass here today, but a little tiny glass.
Uh-huh.
So am I going through the full tasting grid, WSET style?
You can skip around. You
Okay.
can skip. Yeah. I'll put it in your hands.
Okay. I don't know if I would totally trust that, but we'll see. So this wine, not sure if folks can see, but it's looking pretty medium in color. Nothing too deep, not very inky. I would say this is a ruby, but it kind of has more of a garnet color to it.
Okay.
Kind of like a rusty tint to it. On the nose, it's got like a medium intensity on the nose.
Okay.
Getting more of the red fruit aromas, so cherry. Getting like some tart cranberry on the nose. Also some herbaceousness. I would say like bay leaves or dill is kind of what I'm picking up. Definite oak aging, so getting some cedar. A little bit of cinnamon. Some tobacco.
Okay.
Possibly.
Question. I'm not going to tell you the answer.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, have you tried the wine that you poured for me?
Oh yeah, I had it last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I may be like way off base from like we said earlier, we're both rusty.
Very rusty.
But yeah, I'm getting some leather on this as well. Some floral notes, although nothing really calling out to me in that realm.
Okay.
Maybe some fig. I feel like I got a lot there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a pretty aromatically complex wine.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot. It definitely has those red fruit components in it, but it's leaning more towards earthy than the fruit forward. At least for me. I don't know what you were observing, but that's what I'm getting. Okay. Let me actually taste this.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good.
It is good.
Great wine. Nailed it. Yeah, for this I would say medium bodied. The tannins are pretty pronounced on it. I would say it has high level of tannins. Maybe like a medium plus acidity.
Mm.
I'm getting some drool, definite drool happening.
Okay.
Bone dry. The alcohol is surprising on this because I feel that the body, the color and everything, it's leaning more towards that lighter style, but it definitely has some heat happening. So I would say it's almost leaning towards a higher alcohol red. Yeah, again, like I think the palette is very similar to what's happening on the nose. It's definitely a little more earthy for me, but I am getting those tart red fruits happening. Overall, I really like it. Oh God, is this the part where I have to guess what's?
Then now for your conclusion.
Hmm. I mean, it could be. I'm not convinced that it's a bigger, bolder varietal like a Zinfandel, a Cabernet, and Syrah. Although it very well could be. You could be throwing me a curveball here. I'm going more the lighter to medium style, like a Pinot Noir, a Cabernet Franc, even some of those herbaceous notes. But I'm leaning Old World.
Okay.
You know, I think because of its color, like the more of the rusty garnet color, and just the notes I'm getting, the cedar, the dill, the tobacco, and those red fruits, I'm almost leaning towards an Italian or Spanish red.
Okay.
So I feel like this has some oak aging on it. Thus, like, I think with the color, it definitely has some of that oak aging there.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shot in the dark. I'm going Tempranillo on this.
Tempranillo. Okay.
Okay, because I think because of the color with the oak
Mhm.
aging, I would, although it doesn't have a ton of oak presence on it, at least
Sure.
overly, like I wouldn't say it's, maybe it's a Crianza Tempranillo.
Okay.
So that's what, like a 2 year oak aging.
I think Cramps is like two and below.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say I'm gonna guess. First guess would be a Tempranillo from Rioja,
Okay.
Crianza.
Okay.
Should I guess vintage?
I mean, if you want to go that far.
Maybe like I don't know, like a 2018. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised going back to the Italian argument, possibly a Sangiovese as well as a second guess. If you're accepting second guesses,
Yeah, definitely.
okay, yeah. So as a second guess, Sangiovese, maybe Chianti.
All right.
That's,
So let me
that's
grab the bottle. So
probably
you're almost there. 2015 Barolo from GD Bar, Costa di Rose.
low.
So yeah, I mean, with high alcohol, high tannin, with that like lighter color, for me is either Tempranillo or Nebbiolo,
Yeah.
right? And but Tempranillo for me has like more American oak on the nose.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't have that
Mm,
big, strong oak presence that,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
thought
like that
the color
really
was,
sweet oak, but the color, yeah, both kind of thin skin varietals. And they're really only about two or three thin skin testable varietals that are going to have like high alcohol, pretty high acid, and that light color.
yeah,
So like one out of three,
yeah.
you picked two, the two that weren't out of the three.
I was thinking, I know you might just think that I'm saying this just because it is, but I would say Nebbiolo was going to be my third guess, but
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's Nebbiolo, Tempranillo, Sangiovese, pretty, and Pinot Noir, like your three or four, you can kind of interchange
yeah,
sometime.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well,
yeah, this is delicious wine. You go pick it up. This
good.
wasn't the cheapest one.
I say
I think it's
Barolos.
45 or 50 for this one. 15 is like great vintage. So if you find this, go pick it up. All right, my turn.
Like, yeah,
Ah,
that's it.